And let me play the music. And I'm going to let everyone in.
It's like a club party, and we're just going to open the door for the punters.
Then I'm going to make Joseph admin, yeah? Ooh. Good afternoon, not evening, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome one, welcome all.
No, he's recording. Where's Nan?
Welcome Yemi, welcome Shola, welcome Safar, welcome Joy, welcome Enitan, welcome Khadija, welcome Jimmy, Arthur, DJP, Andra, Joan, Fatma,
hello,
and many more. All right, so we're just going to ask that everyone mutes their microphone upon entry and keeps their mic muted throughout the whole session, unless you have a question to come on and ask, which we will allow a bit later. If you do have a question, please raise your hand and our administrator, Joseph, will get back to you. We also have Laura from the Elite Vendors Network on the call, who will be helping to administrate this session. It's going to be a good session, guys. We've got some really good people on the line. First of all, my name, I'm going to turn on the music now for. That was a new edition, by the way. What did everyone think about the new edition of music for the sessions?
Amazing.
Yes. So, everyone, my name is Dean Carby, and I am from the Elite Vendors Network. And we are here with our 5th session, believe it or not, of EVN Goes Live. Welcome, Adot. And we are doing this because, well, this first came about because of the lockdown, which started about 5 weeks ago, believe it or not. And now we've been doing it every week because since none of us are out and about doing what we love to do most of us are stuck in our houses, we thought it's a good time to get everyone together and bring us closer together, even though we are self-isolating and even though it can only be online, it's a good time to get everyone together. So we took a little break last week, but now I'm back with better lighting. I am back with a new trim, new shave, I'm sure everyone can see. And I'm back with some very amazing people. And listen, like, these guys are some of the people that have inspired me the most over the years. Really good friends of mine, really great vendors in the industry. And as we know, in times of uncertainty, we usually turn towards leaders, you know? We usually turn towards people who we feel like are experienced, are knowledgeable, and have some, you know, some sort of direction or leadership with what they're going to say. So that's why I've invited these people today. And before I get into my first question, I'm going to ask each speaker, just for those that don't know, to just introduce themselves quickly. So let's start with Miss Toyin, or Mrs. I should say, Mrs. Toyin Opebiyi from Tees Bakery. Just let everyone know a little bit about yourself and what you do, please.
Hi, everybody. My name is Toyin Opebiyi, and I own Tees Bakery. I make bespoke handmade cakes for all occasions, so weddings, celebrations, corporate cakes, for example. I am happily married to an amazing pastor, for those of you who didn't know. And I've got 3 children, 8-year-old, 5-year-old, and a 9-month-old baby. So I've got my hands very full. What else? That's it. Brief, yeah?
Yeah, that's fine. Just tell people a little bit about like how long you've been making cakes and some of the clients you've worked with as well.
Okay, so I made my very first cake in February 2015, so just exactly 5 years ago, but I have been in the wedding industry for about 3 years. I've been able to grow my brand and grow my business to a successful place, if I say so myself. A lot of my clients recently I find are quite, how do I put it? I do cater to quite a lot of high net worth clients and a lot of my weddings are confidential now. I seem to have entered that space. So I've made cakes for the Nigerian presidency, the Zambian presidency, some celebrities in the US, etc. So, and also quite a lot of people in the UK as well. But majority of my high net worth clients are based in the US and Nigeria. Yes.
Yes, thank you. That's a great introduction to yourself. Thank you so much, Toyin. All right, so next, can we have Mr. Afolabi Dasaolu, if that's correct, aka Adot Comedian. Say a bit about yourself, please, sir.
Not a problem. Everybody, I hope we are all doing and we are all keeping safe and well. So I'm an international stand-up comedian, UK comedian, actor, and I'm an event host and a wedding MC as well. And I've been doing so for such a long time now, bringing joy to the nations and bringing happiness to the people. So I enjoy what I'm. Happiness and laughter is a very, very important part of our lives.
Yes, indeed. And you have been bringing laughter and entertainment to many of us for many, many years, sir. Would you just like to say some of the places you've worked in the world and some of the clients you've worked with too?
Not a problem. Yes, of course. So as well as working here in the UK, I've worked abroad in a lot of all the European countries. I go to Dubai, I've go to America. I've seen different people, different backgrounds, different beliefs, different crowds as well. You understand? So I've had those experiences over the years and different people with different tastes. So tailor material to them so that they can understand what it is you are saying. Because comedy is all, but it's just the way to understand. Yeah.
Yes, and we've got someone in the comments here, Mr. DJ Emery, that says, are you going somewhere? Because obviously it looks like you're quite dressed up. You got a bit of a blazer on.
Yes. So just to respond to Emery, I'm actually in my office, and everybody that you see in the screen, they're also in my office as well. So yes, I'm at work.
Yes.
I'm at work at the moment, yes.
Yes, even though you are a comedian, you take yourself and your image very seriously, right?
I have to. If I don't take myself seriously, who will take me serious? I have to.
I love it. Okay, so next, thank you, Adot. Can we have Mrs. Elsie Ofulue of Events on Wheels to quickly say a little bit more about yourself and what you do, please?
Hi everyone, my name is Elsie Ofulue. I am the Events Director for Events on Wheels, also known as AOW.planner. I'm usually called the Dancing Wedding Planner, the Graceful Wedding Planner. There's one I picked up last week, Saturday, the Energy Wedding Planner. So that's all describes who I am. I need to show you a video of actually what we do. So I'll crave your indulgence quickly. 1 second, Dean, can I share my screen? Yes.
Yes, go for it.
Let's see.
Turn your volume up, everyone. Listen to this.
Hi, my name is Elsie Ofulue. I am the Event Director for Events on Wheels. We are a wedding planning service that ensures your day is memorable, beautiful, exciting. We bring pomp and pageantry and fun to your beautiful day. one of the most important days in your life with Events on Wheels.
Hi, Dean. So hi, everyone. So added to being a wedding planner, like Toyin, I'm married to a pastor. I have 4 children, the latest one being 8 weeks old, actually. I have all the works. I have twins, I have singleton, I have a boy. So if you need a wife, I have in my house. We need a husband, I have in my house. So I'm also a vice president communications and financial services. So I wear quite a few hats being Elsie. That's me. Thanks, Dean.
Thank you so much, Elsie. That was a great introduction. And last but not least, DJ Abass, a man that's used to actually interviewing many other people, but he's being interviewed here today. Can you just say a little bit about yourself, sir, and just tell everyone, what you would like them to know about you?
Okay, hello everybody, good afternoon. I'm Abass Tijani. In the industry, I'm known as DJ Abass. I'm a broadcaster, DJ, and I run a digital marketing and events company in the UK. In fact, what makes this period very unique for me is I have a few multiple income streams, and most of those streams are tied to entertainment. And as you know, when things like this, during wars, when we have war situations, or when we have any kind of global crisis, the first industry to get hit is the entertainment or hospitality industry. I've been doing this for quite a while right now. Started out as a DJ and then went into events promotion and then went back to my first work, which is media. As a broadcaster, started running a very popular program back in the early millennium called Intro, and until most recently, For the Record, with DJ Abass. And as a digital marketing company, we do market events, products, and services for a lot of outfits, individuals within the Nigerian and African space in the UK. So with this coming right now, many jobs are not coming as if I know jobs are coming as a DJ anymore. There are really pretty much no events to market. However, though, the broadcasting end has been happening. A lot of Zoom events going out there, a lot of conversations are being had. In normal times, we perhaps would have struggled to have something like this. So if there's anything good coming out of this period, it's the opportunity to, it's like a major global reset. So let's sit down. What can we add to this? What can we learn from this? And I'm truly looking forward to the next 90 minutes. Married with 2 kids, by the way.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Abass. Introduce
Pleasure.
yourself like a true professional.
Oh, you're too kind.
So everyone, obviously, I think what we've gone through a period now of some serious adjustment. As people, we naturally kind of adjust to what's happening around us, and we've kind of gone through a period of shock, of like, oh my gosh, is this really, like, a lot of us are in denial. They were like, is this really happening? Then it's like, okay, it is happening. We're on lockdown, and it's been about 5-6 weeks now of everything locked down. And now we are trying to think about what we do next. Like, how are we gonna move forward? How are we all gonna have careers after this? How are we gonna continue to do what we love to do? Is it gonna be online via Zoom? Is it gonna be just events with 20 to 30 to 40 people, or like, how long are we gonna be in this situation as well? So to Elsie first, since you are an expert in communications and an expert wedding planner, what has your thoughts been on the research you've done so far? Are we going to be like this for another 6 weeks, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months? What do you think? Or what can you see?
Well, me being very positive, actually, and putting my pastor hat on, it's been a prayer season as well for some of us, being that ensuring that a lot of us don't lose our businesses. So yes, we might be here for another 6 weeks, but not another 6 months, actually, because the whole point is we would definitely want to get back to some sort of normalcy actually. So in terms of what we're doing is staying positive, and around everyone is, some people are being very sad at the moment. So from my end of things, trying to keep all my clients really positive, like really positive. You'll be surprised that lockdown has affected quite a few couples in terms of even them getting married, because now reality is dawning on quite a few of them on the kind of relationship they actually have, though they book their wedding. So I've been trying to reposition myself again, being not just a wedding planner, but also a counselor to all these people, having them staying very much so sane in this period, and letting them know that all things are going to work together for all our good on this call eventually. So we might be locked down at this very moment, but not going to be for too long. Actually, we're going to be out soon, sooner than we think. That's the word, sooner than we think. We'll be out sooner than we think, actually, eventually. Yes, Tim.
Okay, thank you, Elsie. And next to Toyin, who's actually she's a master strategist, actually. I would say one thing that inspires me about Toyin is she's actually coming from the city. So she worked in like, I think Canary Wharf or the City of London before she started her cake business. So when she really came into making cakes, she was very much on quite a mature level of how to think strategically and how to think about business. So Toyin, how are you adjusting your company now that we are in a lockdown, and you know, I'm sure your clients are contacting you as well, trying to find out what's going on. What answers are you giving them?
Thanks, Dean. So, sorry, a bit distracted. Someone's okay. Can you hear me?
Guys on the line, can we just keep our microphones muted, please? and Laura and Joseph, please, could you also mute microphones as well, please?
Okay. Yes, thanks, Dean. So for me, I think I've been blessed in that I haven't put all of my eggs in one basket, and a lot of things that I am going to talk about and reveal in this Zoom call is probably going to shock a lot of people, because everyone knows me as Toyin Teas Bakery, and I make cakes in the wedding industry. But I have a life outside of the wedding industry. I have a career outside of the wedding industry as well that I am working on, and that is what is helping to sustain me. So what has affected me with COVID-19? It has impacted my business, particularly with cash flow. Cash flow in that all of my weddings, or majority of them, have been postponed. Some to later on, towards the end of the year, some to next year. And what that means is that the money that should have been due to me, so part of my terms and condition is that they pay a 50% deposit, and a 50% balance is due up to a month before the wedding. So by now, I should have been receiving all of that 50%. But unfortunately, because clients have had to postpone their weddings, I'm not receiving that. And part of that is my salary, of course. So in terms of cash flow, I have been impacted. Thankfully, a postponement of the wedding means that I would still get paid my balance at some point, whenever the wedding is going to be. So I have been impacted in cash flow. I think my relationship with my clients have helped me a lot. From the very beginning, and even before COVID-19 started, I always made sure that I had a good relationship with my clients. Some clients have turned into very close friends. So that way, in terms of crisis as these, it's easier for me to talk to them and to come to a compromise. Now, I'll give you an example. I have a destination wedding in the US in August, and it's also my 10th year wedding anniversary. I had booked 10 days, or more than 10 days, 14 days, so 2 weeks off to sort out the destination wedding in New Jersey, as well as, you know, have my anniversary. 3 of my clients postponed their wedding to that period. And I was like, oh my God, don't make this even more complicated. But as you'd have it, one has had to repostpone to next year. And because of the relationship I've had with the others, we've been able to talk through things, come up with solutions, and, you know, touch wood, by the grace of God, I've made them happy and comfortable. And also I keep on reassuring my clients that, listen, I really, really want to make your cake, because whenever I design a cake for a client, I need to be excited as well. Otherwise, I wouldn't put my heart into it. And I've got 3 kids, and I'm still a full-on housewife. I don't have time to be making a cake that I'm not interested in making. So I'm very, very particular with the sort of business I take on and the cakes that I make. So if I have accepted to make someone's cake, just like how they've accepted to use me as their wedding cake maker, it means that I love the cake. So COVID-19, and my clients do understand this as well, with COVID-19, I am absolutely gutted that I cannot make the cake at the time that I'm supposed to. And canceling would break my heart, because I really, really would have loved to make that cake. And that's something that I've made my clients to understand. Have I answered your question? Am I diverted?
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great for now. That's great. No, that's a great answer.
Right.
Thank you. We're gonna come back.
Yeah, okay.
You've raised some really good points. And I think when I come back to you, I just want to actually talk to you about what we're gonna do about refunding people as well, because that's gonna start coming sooner rather than later.
Oh, don't ask me. I don't have money to refund anybody. I don't. That's the reality of it. I don't. But I've got insurance, but I haven't even had time to read what my insurance says if I'm able to refund. So I really don't know. And I'm being honest.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna give you a second to think about that. So, Mr. Adot, for the people that are rescheduling with you right now, you know, Toyin just spoke about some of her clients moving their dates to other times. Obviously, you're a person that, if you wanted to, you could deliver your service over the internet. You know, you could host their wedding on Zoom if you wanted to. Is that something that you would be accepting? I've been hearing a few DJs talking about taking Zoom bookings. Will Adot Comedian be performing on Zoom going forward?
I'll be honest with you, to say I'm going to MC over Zoom, or, you know, MC any sort of event over Zoom, time will tell. As in, I'm not one to knock an idea, and I'm always open to ideas as long as it works. And if it's going to make sense, it has to make sense. It's something that one can explore, you know.
Yes. Okay. So, and then in terms of, like, have you had people rescheduling? Have you had people moving dates around? Obviously, you work in the UK and abroad. Like, how are you managing all this right now?
My brother, let me be honest with you. It's a very special time in history. We've never seen a time like this. People are calling with worries. They are getting in touch with adults. The venue say we have to postpone COVID-19. So for me, luckily, I've had the ability to sort of calm the client down, calm them down, make them to understand that, look, we are not alone. Don't worry, we are in this together. All of us, we are going through this. Simple as my terms and conditions say, you know, if you choose another day and I'm available, then we just, it's very simple as ABC. There's no headache, there's no confusion, and to God be the glory. That's exactly what have been happening. You know, they say, Adot, this day, I say, it's available, then we move across. Because it's not their fault and my fault, but we need to work together. We have to work together. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and that's exactly what we need to do. This is why we're doing these calls as well, so we can get everyone together. We can get people on a similar page of what to do, because some of us do have contracts, some of us do have terms and conditions, but unfortunately, some of us don't. And there's people in the industry that are totally lost right now. They don't even know if they're going to see their business on the other side of this. And I guess so next I want to talk to Abass, because you have been around for a little while, sir, a little longer than me. He doesn't like me to call him uncle, but I would say he's the next generation of DJ to me, yeah? And when I was up and coming, I used to hear about Abass, like this guy that was DJing at all the big Nigerian events, all the big African parties, the people coming over from Nigeria, it'll be Abass. So I was like, who is this guy Abass? Because, you know, I'm quite competitive. Like, whoever's at the top, I want to try and take them down. So I used to try and you know, find out a bit more about him. And then we met and we became friends. He actually ended up interviewing me a few years ago, and we've formed a friendship. So Abass, I just want to know, someone that's adjusted so much throughout the years, the decades, in terms of going from DJing to acting to broadcasting, etc. What do you see the next adjustment being for DJs and for people in entertainment now?
Well, like I alluded to in my the last time I spoke, this is the first for everybody. However, the beauty of all of this is the human being has such an unbelievable ability to adjust and adapt. Listening to Toyin, she was talking about her own situation in terms of some people calling her, she makes cakes. She makes cakes. So what am I seeing on Zoom parties recently? And Zoom has been a phenomenon. I'm seeing people now trying their best to recreate whatever event they want to have. But with all the weddings I've seen on Zoom and birthdays, I have still seen cakes. Do you get it? So with Toyin, that pretty much takes care of that. Over the last 3 weeks, I've done about 4 Facebook Live music sessions on Fridays and 2 Zoom parties. And playing on Zoom was, for me as a DJ, was a totally different feel. At times you're playing and I'm looking at the screen, because typically as a DJ playing on the dance floor, the floor is the determinant. Now with Zoom, I'm looking at about 70 people on different screens. Some are just doing that, looking at you. Some are moving. And it's taken like 2-3 sessions to get used to that. What am I trying to say? Man would always adjust and adapt. And personally, I think Zoom is the next massive thing for some of us in our industry. As a DJ particularly, Zoom is going to come in handy. Facebook is going to come in handy. The first and most important thing is you need to keep in touch with your audience. That is very, very key. They're on Instagram. You alluded to the period of time, years I've been in the industry. So the core of my audience are on Facebook. But I do have an audience on Instagram as well. So I do mix up the sessions. Just first they see you. And believe it or not, I actually got paid for my first Zoom party yesterday. And that's coming up in about a couple of weeks. And I just realized that really to have a proper Zoom event, you actually need a proper DJ. You need a proper DJ. So that's an income right there, you know. And this is the time for DJs in particular, because it's going to be a bit more than just playing right now. A certain part of your personality needs to come out. So it's not just sitting there playing. You need to be a bit more interactive. You need to be able to carry them along a conversation. So it's all about adapting. Some people say, because in the past I've tried to work with certain people in terms of media, I don't like all that social media problem. Well, they don't have a choice now. They don't have a choice now. You have to put yourself out there. And the aggressive go-getter will survive.
Yes, indeed. And but someone in the comments, again, it's DJ Emery. He said playing on Zoom, it's weird. And I guess what you're saying is that we've kind of got no choice now. So how are you going to start, like, I guess, marketing yourself for Zoom parties? Like, I know we're all in this period of adjustment, but I think I would still find it weird. I don't know, trying to have that in-person interaction that I usually like to have, but having it like over the internet with entertaining people or with DJ.
Let me tell you, no difference. In fact, coming from Emery, who is a seasoned DJ, all you have to do is give it a shot. Like I told you, when I came on Zoom, it was, as a DJ, you need to feel the pulse of your audience, little things. When I get to a venue, the first hour and a half, I'm walking them out. Who is dancing? Maybe they're not dancing on the floor, but they're still sitting down, having the canapes, they're moving. I'm working them out. Now, with Zoom, it's a different terrain. But the rules are still the same. The rules are basically the same. While the conversations are going on in between, I'm dropping 1 or 2 songs, I'm watching everybody, you know. So I can understand when you cannot see them all in one go. But just like, and the sound is a bit different. There's a certain latency issue with Zoom as well, you know, when you're playing, but there are gadgets that can make it sound much better. I'm sure Emery is aware of iRig too. You connect that and it's direct. The quality of sound is better. Also, how the party is managed on Zoom is very, very important. In fact, I heard in our previous meeting before we came on, Toyin was saying, everything with this event looks so serious, you know, and I get where she's coming from, you know, because, but you see, what you're doing is just to make sure that we have a great broadcast. So it's not enough to just go on Zoom. Perhaps what part of what you need to contribute as a DJ is also to see if you can manage it for them as well. So if you have 100 people, there needs to be some kind of order, you know, treat it like you're treating a regular party as well. So is there an MC? Are you communicating with the MC? Do you want to double as MC and DJ? What are they going to do in the course of the night? I noticed Elsie played a video. I didn't know that was possible. I didn't know that was possible. So maybe before the event itself, or some kind of order, we can get everybody to do like 20 seconds. We knock it off into one video and you play that at some point and let everybody get a sense of being carried along. It certainly can work. And picture this, when all of this dies down, believe me, some people will stick with Zoom parties. So that will be another extra side income. And that would be the great thing to come out of this, I think.
Yes. Okay. That's a very good contribution. Thank you, Abass. All right.
Pleasure.
So Elsie, I've got a question for you now, because from what Abass just said, he feels like what he does can survive via the internet or via Zoom for a while. I believe that what Toyin does can also survive, because she could potentially, you know, make her cakes, get them delivered out to the customer still, and same with Adot being an MC. But can the event planner or the wedding planner survive online? Is there going to be a need right now for the wedding planner, or is the wedding planner just going to need to keep selling the idea of the future event once we can all socialize again?
It's good you asked that question. Interestingly, I had a call from an ex-client, DJ Abass, the event we did a few years ago. So the guy rang me because his wife is 50 today. And throughout the week, he was saying to me, well, what can I do to make her happy? How can I create a kind of party for her? And because I've seen so many Zoom parties, I said to him, let's actually try doing something for her on Zoom. So today, later this evening, we're having a saxophonist on Zoom today. We have someone doing the MC, and we're going to have an entrance for her as well, like introduce her. You know how you introduce people to a party, like come in, her announcement is going to come in. So we've actually worked out a Zoom 50th birthday party happening today, which for me is also to test to your question, how this could actually survive for the future.
Are we allowed to come? Can we come? Can we attend?
Actually a private party. No, it's a private party.
Crashing.
I was actually challenged when he rang me. He went, I want to solve this problem. I think you're the best person to do it. And talking with him, we created this Zoom party with an MC. We're even having food across the homes because it's a party for his wife, his church folks who don't really stay far away from him. And I said to him, I've seen it online whereby they deliver food to people. We could do some small chops. So we've gone a bit wild in our thinking for today, and I'll leave to tell the story and maybe next week to say how it worked out. But yes, it's possible for us to survive. And if you've seen the story from Love Weddings NG this week, there was actually a Zoom wedding that took place, like a full-fledged wedding with an event planner, a wedding planner, a DJ, an MC, a videographer, the entire shebang with Zoom and with no physical contact. And I thought that was really amazing. So yes, as much as I would love to sell our future being together, our future cultural way of having parties, I would not knock off the idea of running a Zoom party. Because speaking to this client this week, I realized that you actually need someone like me to help manage that process as well for them, who they had no clue about trying to pull the video together, share the screen. There is someone that needs to help these clients hold their hand through this process. So yes, Dean, it's very possible to share both sides of the coin of a Zoom party and a physical party to clients. So yes, definitely, it's possible.
Thank you.
There's a future in it. There is.
Thank you, Elsie. Okay, so to Adot, following what Elsie just said, yeah, about this kind of, there is a future in events online. Like, I've known you for a long time, and as much as you do what you do for the love and for the passion, we also do it for the money, right? Like, let's be serious here. Like, people say that it's not about the money, but it is about the money, because otherwise we're not going to be able to keep ourselves going. You're not going to be able to buy yourself a new blazer like you got there, or, you know, you're not going to be able to pay your bills. So one thing that I'm foreseeing now is that the more, if we get used to this online world, the people are going to start being able to, I guess, negotiate even more than they already want to. They're going to try and bring your prices down. Would you take a hit in your fees for now, for the foreseeable future, just to keep yourself active and busy until we can get back to what we think is a regular life? Will you work for a discounted rate if it's online, if it's on Zoom?
Okay, so to answer your question, very, very, very simple. I think the first thing we need to understand here is we need to know our what. We need to know our what. We need to know who we are as a person. You understand? You can't, yes, the circumstances of things now are very, very unfortunate, but at the same time, you need to stay true to yourself within reason. So, of course, I will do what I believe is right for myself. You understand? Like I mentioned before, if it makes a sense, it has to make sense. If it makes sense, then yeah, we are good to go. Or we keep on going until we come to some sort of an agreement.
Okay. And then someone, just like they do in, you know, in regular event world, they're like, you know, you're charging X amount, someone else is gonna do it for cheaper. What are you saying? Are you gonna say, oh, don't worry, I'm gonna match the person's price, or I'm gonna undercut them?
That is a very dangerous place to be. That is a very, very dangerous place to be, Dean, because if you start to do that, what you don't actually realize is that you might be setting yourself up for disaster in the long run. Because where you are trying to say, okay, X, Y, and Z is doing it for one price, let me match them so that I don't lose out. In the long run, you could be setting yourself up for a problem, because information travels.
Yes.
Information flies. Somebody will say, but now you charge my friend that, so why is it that you are charging me? No, don't do it to yourself. Stay true to you. It's difficult at a time like this for a lot of people, but you need to actually realize who you are.
Yes.
Realize who you are. And a lot of these things are based on our discretion, our initiative, and wisdom in making the right decisions.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, sir. Okay, so Toyin, the lady who I know is, you know, not doesn't like to joke around when it comes to her pricing and her worth. Are you gonna see? Do you think we're gonna see people kind of haggling more and trying to discount your price? Because obviously, I was talking to Anna Wang in Australia last week, and she was saying that there's some people that's literally working for the bottom price. They're taking they're cutting 30% off of their quotes just to get some money in, just to keep some cash flow in the short term, just so that they can survive. Like, obviously we're used to kind of working in like the mid to high end of the market. Do you feel like a lot of people's going to end up slashing their prices? Even the luxury people are going to be taking discounted rates to kind of stay in business. And also, I know you're doing a few other things to supplement your income. You're going to tell people a bit about that too.
Hi, thanks, Dean. So for cakes, have you tried buying flour? There's no flour anywhere. So any baker who reduces their price needs to come to me, and I need to whoop them, because it's so hard to find. Seriously, there's no flour. I don't even have flour in my house. And my neighbor wants me to make a cake for her daughter, and I said, I can't get Tesco shopping delivery. And I've been to so many shops, I cannot get flour. So for cakes, there is a shortage of certain ingredients. And we need to take that into account for our pricing. So really, the prices of cakes need to go up and not come down, if anything.
Needs to go up. Okay.
It needs to go up, in my opinion.
Okay.
However, I'm not baking this period. I have been getting inquiries for cakes, not wedding cakes, celebration cakes. I haven't been baking because of my personal circumstance. I have to homeschool, and my older son is special needs. I have my hands full, and I have prioritized my family and my children this period. So I'm basically being a full-time mom right now, and trying to homeschool and make cakes is going to be very difficult. And I can't even find flour anyway, so I'm not even going to stress myself. That's it. However,
2 people in the cut. So we got Emery says that he'll sell you his flour for a good price, and Joseph also says he has flour if you need some as well.
If I need some, don't worry, I'm not baking this period. And I'm not trying to turn away business either. Baking is, a lot of people don't realize the time and effort that goes into it. It's a lot of hard work. But right now I've got a 9-month-old at home, and I've got 2 boys, one of which is special needs. So my hands is very, very full at the moment. I cannot afford to bake or decorate a cake. And yeah, so that's my position. So in terms of how I'm then surviving financially, can I share my screen?
Yes, you can, yeah.
So guys, I'm going to tell you this. Jesus. Dean, I know you said to me, oh, there it is.
Yeah. Seeing a few more people coming on. Welcome, everyone.
Attendee screen sharing.
What's that, sorry?
It's been disabled.
Oh, Joseph disabled it. Yeah, go for it now. Go for it.
I'll go for it now. Okay, so what screen do I want to share? Sorry, I've got loads of stuff open.
Okay. And what are you sharing with us?
I'm trying to explain what it is that I'm currently doing and how do you know what? I can just tell you, but it'll be better if I show.
So you're talking about how you've adjusted your income.
How I've adjusted my income.
How you've pivoted.
How I've pivoted, basically, yeah. Okay, so ignore that. No, I do not sell Ankara, and I do not plan to sell Ankara. However, I'm showing this to you guys for a reason. Okay. The reason being, when so my background, I worked as a client reporting business analyst in the city, and one of the things that I used to do was to design reports for asset management firms, and I worked very closely with the branding team. So when it was time for me to start Tea's Bakery, I already knew how I wanted Tea's Bakery to look and feel. I was already good at branding, and I was already good at designing. And I got someone to design my website for me. And he did it initially, but since then I have taken control of my website, and my website has evolved since then. And everything that you see on the Tea's Bakery website is designed by moi, with my hands. So when it comes to designing, I find myself, I am a creative, and when it comes to designing, I design not just cakes, but I design elements, websites, apps, whatever. Now, last year, before COVID came about, the owner of Ankara came to me and said, how were you able to build a strong brand? I want to be able to build my brand so strongly and to the point where I can sell my Ankara product in the likes of John Lewis and all of these places. And I said to her, do you know what? Come to me and I would help you. She's my friend. So I said, I would help you. She paid me a small fee for this. And she came to me, to my house, and we basically set up my house. That's my sofa. I took pictures of every single product. This book, I put all her products in there. We put it up in my house. I took pictures of everything with my little small camera that probably doesn't cost so much. I took pictures of everything and I said to her, we're going to build a website. And when we build this website, it's going to look really good so that when John Lewis comes onto your website, they will think you're a credible business. I took pictures of every single product, these books, everything, one by one. I built this website for her. I built the website for her.
Wow.
She then went and exhibited at there she is. She then exhibited at the Ideal Home Show. I said, you know what? Nobody knows of you. Follow my footsteps. When I came into the industry, I went straight to the National Wedding Show. Let's go to the Ideal Home Show. She went to the Ideal Home Show in November. It's still there. It needs to be taken off, but it's still there anyway. And she did so well. She's been to Facebook. She's been to different places, name it. Now in lockdown, I said to my husband, you know what? I can't do cakes because I'm focusing on the kids, but I am a giver. I want to help businesses grow. Now, I build my website on Wix. A lot of web developers will say, oh, that's crap, but I know Wix in and out. And it works for me. Whenever that changes need to be made to my website, I do it by myself. I don't have to call a developer. If I take pictures of my cakes, I've got my camera and I do it by myself. So I've been able, and it's good quality and it's good. So what I'm doing right now is I'm helping other business owners. I'm like, you know what? Now's the time to get that website up. You don't have to pay a developer. Come, let's look at it. If it means you sending your product to me and I have to take pictures of it, I would. And I'd help you to get it up and running and you'll be able to manage it on the back end. Since then, I have done a website for a church. This is the church's website. And I built this. I had this website just went live about 3 weeks ago or so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, you know, it's all about thinking, explaining what their brand is, telling them how to appear on social media and all of that. So I'm using my knowledge, how I've been able to succeed in the caking industry, how I came into the wedding industry. None of you knew me, I came in. I've won 3 awards. And, you know, by credible sources, etc. And I'm taking that knowledge and I'm helping other business owners, not just people in the wedding industry, a church, for example. And at the moment, I'm working on 3 other websites. I'm working for a website for a comedian who's also an actor that does a lot of theater stage performances. I'm working on personal branding for someone else. You know, and people are calling me by word of mouth when they see this website. I'm not trying to put web developers or whatever out of business. I'm sorry, but I think I'm a creative and I think I'm gifted in this and I'm trying to help and I'm making good money out of it. I just got paid today by 2 clients to build their website. To design their website, not build, to design
Amazing.
their website.
Yeah, Big Io says, do you want to take us photographers out of business? Everyone else is saying, well done. Shola says, powerhouse mummy. So well done. Everyone's saying, well done, well done. I'm sure you can see in the comments. You probably want to respond to them yourself. But well done, Toyin. It's really good stuff. I can feel your passion and energy and seriousness about this. And more than likely, you're going to get lots of clients. So we're going to put all of the speakers' social media and contacts into the chat. But Toyin, feel free to drop your email address into the chat to let anyone know how they can contact you. So talking about a powerhouse mummy, you know, we have Elsie here who has 4 children. She has 1 set of twins. And she is also similar to Toyin, you know, as you said before, she's the wife of a pastor. She's got another full-time job. She's a planner, etc., 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 etc. Like, for the people who are on the call today, who are parents and who are finding this a bit challenging, because as you said, it is, you know, some of us are going to be able to pivot. Some of us are getting loads of ideas of businesses to start now and after. But how are you keeping yourself kind of happy? You know, you said you're the energetic wedding planner. So how are you keeping, because it's all about, you know, you got to, as they say, when you get onto a plane, you know, if something's happening, you got to give yourself the oxygen first. Yeah, you got to give yourself the air so you can look after everyone else. How are you keeping yourself happy, yourself sane and energetic while you've got 4 kids, you've got a husband and you've got businesses, you've got work? Like, what's happening for you?
Honestly, when you have 4 children, you can't even be sloppy at any point in time. So my lifestyle is very busy. So my twins are going to be 10 and they're doing 11 plus. I don't even know who created that exam, but it's driving us nuts at home. So we have the 11 plus children. We have the 7-year-old, and I'm nursing an 8 weeks baby. So my children are of different levels, so I'm very busy. But you know, happiness comes from within. The dancing you guys see online is the dancing already done on the inside of myself. So actually, everyone knows that when I'm even stressed or anything, I would actually dance. I love to dance. And my children have taken that form as well. I realized recently I have a boarding stylist in my house. My 9-year-old, one of the twins, she actually styles all her sisters every morning and now styles her brother as well, which is becoming a problem because she's trying to make all of them coordinated and wearing something, including the baby as well. So this time I'm beginning to enjoy moments with my children. One of the positives of COVID for me is actually nursing my son. If not for COVID, I probably would have been out and about dancing somewhere on Instagram. But COVID has ensured that he's enjoying nice feeding totally, exclusively, which makes him look very handsome, while I also look very good for the mothers that understand what that type of nursing does. So keeping myself sane is actually looking at the positives from my kids. And I would want to say that Tosin Christina Andrew, she has some stuff she puts on her page about raising mentally aware children and all that. And there are lots of positive things there about trying to see the good in each child, trying to see that your child could be this, that, your child could be more positive, creating that moments of family bonding at home. My kids are like me. They can come up with dance steps in seconds, actually. They can come up with songs in seconds and all that. So enjoying those moments with them, trying to also take care of God's people. As a pastor's wife, I have that responsibility of taking care of God's people in this time of uncertainty, trying to ensure that everybody is staying sane, staying positive, knowing that this too shall pass. That is the statement. This too shall pass. All this is coming to pass. So we'll get out of this situation. It is not all gloom and doom. There is light at the end of the tunnel. I keep that in front of me all the time. There's light at the end of the tunnel. It's going to be happiness all through. And you are what you say you are. I believe so much that if we keep claiming or proclaiming doom in our lives, it will surely happen. But if we keep a happy mental space, it also helps me for my clients as well. My positivity also is blessing them as well. So anyone that rings me and is feeling all down and gloom, not sure about their wedding, when they come to EOW, they definitely will get off the call happy and looking forward to the time of when this COVID is all lifted. So yes, Dean, happiness is from the inside. So I ensure that I'm happy from my inside, which radiates all around me, and just enjoy my children, honestly, literally. And keep saying, it's not perfect running 4 kids and a husband and a church and a business and work, but we are alive and well and kicking fine.
Exactly. Thank you, Elsie. Joy in the comments says, one of my kids is doing 11 plus this year and it's not funny. It's not funny. So talking about things being funny and laughter, let's go to Adot, because on a regular day, you have the job of uplifting people. You have the job of lifting people's spirits, making them feel happy and positive and optimistic. You know, I go through your page sometimes to make myself laugh on some of my down days, because you're just, I find you so funny. And you know, when we're at the weddings or when we're at the events, sometimes some people just turn up with the most sour expressions, and you know, they are just not happy. They don't want to be there. Something's happened. There's been some drama behind the scenes, and it's your job to keep them entertained and keep them present in the room. So during this time of lockdown now, what are you doing for your followers or for your friends or for your family and even for yourself to keep yourself happy too?
Thank you very much for that question, my brother. You see, like you mentioned, on a normal day, it is my role to make everybody happy through laughter, which is the most powerful medication known to mankind.
Yeah.
So So that is what I would be doing. However, the lockdown that we are in now, it doesn't really stop that from happening. It actually only stops the face-to-face interaction. You know, in terms of live performances, yes, that is what the lockdown has stopped. However, online now, what I've started to be doing now is to just put out some of my clips, some of my comedy clips, which I have done, you know, in the past, just to recap people's memories about, you know, some of the skits that they've enjoyed over the years, as well as preparing some new things for people to watch in this time, because we all need to laugh. We need to soften this this blow of koro. This corona thing is really affecting everybody. So I will do the best I can do, and I've been doing the best I can do. So I'll be putting out my clips, you know, for people to watch, and just use it to take their mind away from the current situation at hand at the moment. So there you have it.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Let's see more of those clips. And as I said, Joseph's going to put, you might as well do it from now, actually, in the next 5 minutes, if you can. Just put the links to all of the speakers' social media so we can check out more about what they do. So there's another MC on this call right now. I can see his face, and his name is Charles Emeka. And one thing that he said quite recently, and this is to Abass, is that, you know, Nigerian people, we can even stretch that out to African people, even Caribbean people. We love partying and events so much that regardless of any rules or laws they put in place, we are still gonna find a way to get together. So Abass, what's your thoughts on that? Like, do you think people are gonna put celebrations and parties over their health? Or do you think that they're gonna be so worried about getting ill or dying that, you know, we are gonna not see the industry get back to what we knew it to be before for the next 12 to 18 months, or maybe even 2 years?
Well, before I answer that, I want to show you, I was just running through my social media timeline, and I'll show you what I just saw there. Can you see that? Can everybody see that?
Yes, it says party starts at 7 p.m. 8th of May. DJ Sholabi on a Zoom party. Yes.
What the next line?
The next line right underneath that says £5 code to join the party. Text or call something.
That is exactly what I want to stress. £5. He has taken. Some people will go, "Oh, it's not going to happen. Oh, it won't work." Guess what? If he gets 5 people. If he gets 5 people paying to watch that party, he's onto something. You know, if you don't try, you wouldn't know. The single most important thing in all of this is adaptation. It is adaptation. People will still celebrate, but they need to be guided. Which takes me back to this whole Zoom thing. In terms of your question, in the one of the biggest criticisms the government in the UK and in most parts of the Western world got was that they didn't jump on this thing very, very quickly. Many felt when they broke in Wuhan, China, a lot of the West didn't see it as something. It wasn't even took a while before it was classified a pandemic. And in the first 3 weeks, many didn't take it seriously. In fact, if you've been following the Nigerian stories, you know, a batch of people who got it in Nigeria was alleged to be as a result of a party that happened in the UK that was held just within that window when many were advised not to hold parties, you know. So, but many didn't take it serious at the time. But I can tell you right now, everybody is taking it very, very seriously. And the overwhelming majority are conforming. In fact, Africans don't joke with going to church or mosque, their religion. And some even broke that. But now, most people, especially on this side of the world, they are conforming. However, they still want to have their party. And trust me, if you go on your timelines today, there are more Zoom parties popping up left, right, and center. Zoom. And even on the back of that, Facebook has now activated its own in-screen in-screen links to add other people, because in the last 1 month, Zoom's share price has quadrupled. So for me in my industry and some specific industries, Zoom is it. And if I go back to what Toyin was saying, she was basically saying she has had to bring all her skills to bear right now. She's put all her skills in one basket right now. And the person that will get booked the most is the person that can offer the most. So if I'm DJing for you and I can organize for you and I can source vendors for you, there are still people who don't know how to do these things, but they don't have a problem paying for it. And in terms of price competitiveness, ultimately, first and foremost, they must know you can do this. So first, everybody needs to go out there advertising it. Let people know, hey, we are doing Zoom parties. Secondly, the question is, have you done one before? People want to see stuff. And then based on what you put on the table, human beings are still human beings. So at times for a lot of people, for those who are in EVN, the events, the network, they are mostly high-enders. They are the best and the best within the events network. So their typical client falls within a certain income range, and that would not change because those people don't mind paying as long as they're going to quality. So if you're there to organize a quality Zoom party for them, and part of what I'd advise everybody to do is take time to go on. American links are very powerful. We get a lot of inspiration checking out American links. Go there, see what they're doing. Educate yourself. Go on YouTube. Look at the latest Zoom parties. See what the kiddies are doing. See what the youngers are doing. See what the matured are doing. And just try to adapt yourself. Trust me, if we're to have this thing in another 2 months, we're going to be hearing a lot of success stories from everybody on this platform. Because what stands everybody out within this network is how exclusive and how unique and the brilliance of they've brought to the game. I have no doubt in my mind. People in this group have the ability and the capacity to adapt, and I see that as the way forward. I have no doubt in my mind.
Thank you. Elsie in the comments said Zoom is making a boom. But I'm not looking forward to a future of Zoom events. I'm not. That's not the kind of adjustment that I want to see happen. Like, I like personal interaction. I like being around people, and I wasn't
around people.
I was actually on a Zoom party.
You're around people. I'm around you right now.
No. It's different. Like it's one dimensional. I was actually on a Zoom party the other day, and it was a bit of a mess, to be honest. Like, people were talking over each other. But I think what you're saying is we're gonna have to get to know to use these online platforms better, so these things can become quality. Because the party I was on, it was just crazy. There was a DJ, the music just sounded crazy. People were talking. There was 2 aunties on the phone and their mics are on, and it was just, it was mad. But, I guess if this is the future that we have to adapt to for the short term, then, I guess we actually have no choice. But it doesn't make me feel very happy and inspired. It doesn't make me feel very, very good at all. Because I just don't like, I don't mind doing conferences, but I don't want to do parties and events online. So has anyone heard anything about when we can get back out there? Like, I know everyone's doing reading, everyone's listening to the news and watching, YouTube videos and stuff. Do any of us know, like, the earliest time we can have a face-to-face event and how many numbers that event is going to be allowed to have? Anyone can answer, but I will actually put it towards Elsie.
Oh, me, Dean. Oh, to be fair, I haven't kept my ears too close to when. I like the positive side of things, and I put in the comments that I will need to keep, so we can have our human interaction, we need to keep praying, actually, and pray until something actually happens. So we're waiting till May 7th or so to hear the next level of lift and all that. So human interaction is going to come, then. It is going to come, surely. But personally, as a person, aside talking to my clients and some of the vendors, I spend more time just chilling and being positive and just nursing my child. That's hard enough, actually, trust me, as against trying to look around what the pandemic is going on so far. So I haven't had the big date of when we're going to be out, but I know we are going to be out very soon, sooner than we think. That's my thoughts.
Amazing. Okay, and Toyin, do you feel like you're gonna be able to service those clients who are moving their weddings to August? Like, a lot of my clients are now emailing me saying that they're just, you know, like 2 weeks ago, some people thought they were gonna still have their events in June or July. And as the days and the weeks go past, people are not even just pushing it back to further this year. Some people are just scrapping 2020. They're saying 2020 is a write-off. And people are postponing till March and April 2021. Do you feel like you're going to be able to celebrate your anniversary abroad in America in August? Or do you feel like everything, all travel this year is cancelled?
I personally think all travel this year, I think it's a personal thing. Personally, I'm not going to travel anymore in August, even if the lockdown is over, because I just can't. I think it's going to take a while for things to normalize. So I am actually looking to cancel my anniversary. The only thing holding me back from doing that is I've got a destination wedding, and if they don't cancel, then I still have to be there. But also I need to think about my own health and safety as well. So it's something that I'm thinking of. I'm about 90% sure that that's not going to go ahead. Next year is looking the safest. Initially, we thought August, September was good. I had my February, January, February, March. I had to think about that. I had my March clients. Sorry, it's the screen. It gets a bit distracting when the screen changes. Sorry.
Yeah, don't worry. We are sorting that. Don't worry.
Yes. I have my March, April clients that shifted their weddings to August, September, October, having to shift it again to next year because there's a lot of uncertainty about this year. Personally, I wouldn't be traveling. I was meant to be in Dubai with the family towards the end of May. I was initially thinking of shifting it to Christmas and we'll spend Christmas in Dubai, but now that's not even looking like it's going to happen either. So I'm having to postpone my own personal events and things till next year, just to be safest. So yeah, does that answer the question?
Yes, yeah. It does. And then that leads me on to my next question with you. Like I said, I was going to say to you earlier, but you have to give us an answer about the refunds, because everyone is getting worried. People are postponing their events until 2021. We're not going to be able to service everyone on the same few weekends in 2021. Some people don't want to wait that long to see what's going to happen. And in fact, my partner, my fiance Mary, she actually posted an article in the group this week from Martin, what's his name, from I forgot, from Money Saving Expert, saying that it's actually illegal for us as vendors, Martin Lewis, that's it, for us as vendors to hold on to people's money without providing any services. Like, are we just going to have to all get these loans from the government or get loans from our banks to refund people if we've already spent the money? Like, what's going to have to happen?
Right, so for cakes, and I haven't thought about other vendors, but for cakes, so I've got my terms and conditions, which the client, so when the way my process works is, every client of mine is get sent a very detailed contract, and they sign the contract and send it back to me signed with their signature on it. Sometimes I'm a bit relaxed and I can get them to approve it via email. and they do that. So every client of mine have basically signed my contract, which has my terms and conditions in it. And it's about 3 pages of my contract contains my terms. My terms and conditions is also found on my website. And one of the things that it says is, I'm trying to find it to read that particular clause itself. Sorry, just bear with me so that I'm as specific as possible.
Okay, while you're finding that, I'm just going to say what some people in the comments are saying. So, Emery said this is beyond your contract. Someone else says we cannot have social distance weddings, or we're not going to be able to fly social distance because obviously planes are going to be probably more than half empty. Someone else, Elsie, just says stay positive, everyone. I love that, Elsie. Thank you. Toyin, have you
yes,
found
I found it, yes. Of course, this is way beyond the contract, and I am actually getting onto that. So when this whole thing started, I was pleased about clause 9 of my contract, which addresses change of occasion date. And one of the things it says, it's quite long. So please note, should your wedding date be postponed or rescheduled, we require a minimum of 4 weeks notice for the new date. This notice is to be provided in writing and will be acknowledged with a written response. If for any reason you need to rearrange your occasion date, we will try our best to accommodate these changes at no additional charges, provided sufficient notice is given and that we can offer a cake for the rearranged occasion date. We will do our best to accommodate your order, but cannot guarantee to be able to do so. If we're already fully booked for your new occasion date and unable to provide the cake, it will not be possible to refund your deposit. Please bear this in mind when ordering, as monies paid are non-refundable and non-transferable. We highly suggest that you take out insurance to cover all eventualities. So this is a clause that was already in my contract. So I'm trying to come back to Zoom. This was a clause that was already in my contract that I do not refund deposits. So at this stage, I think I've only had 2 clients that have paid me the full balance of the cake. Thankfully, they are postponing their wedding, so I have not come into any dispute about refunding of monies with them. Actually, I haven't come into any dispute with any of my clients yet. But what I have been offering, particularly for those clients who I cannot accommodate their date, is that, all right, you've paid a deposit, a 50% deposit. You can transfer. I'm happy to transfer this to any, if you've got a celebration coming up in the future, a birthday, christening, any events that you've got coming up, that money that you've paid me as a deposit, I would create a cake for you, even though only because I'm not available at that particular date. So I have given a few of my clients that option, that listen, I don't want you to think I'm holding on to your deposit. And, and this has actually happened to me in the past. This happened to me last year. A client had booked her daughter's christening cake. This was last year. It was meant to be in August. Now in February, she calls me and she had paid her deposit. She called me in February to say, the plans have changed and she shifted the date and she shifted it to, I think the 1st of July. Now, last year I was pregnant and the 1st of July was my due date. So I said to her, you've shifted it. She hadn't even told me, she hadn't asked me what my availability was like. She had shifted it and she had paid me a deposit for an August delivery, which I was going to do. And I said to her, look, I cannot accommodate the 1st of July because I might be in the labor theater and I'm not even going to be able to do your cake. And I don't have anyone to help me. So, but we were able to reach a compromise where I said to her, listen, because I don't want clients to think I'm holding on to their money. So I said, listen, you've paid me, say you've paid me a deposit of, let's say £500, for example. I would give you a cake up to the value of £500 and just tell me when you want it, provided I am available. And I try to be available as much as I can. So that is what I'm thinking, that's, if the law says that we need to refund, then I'm going to look at my insurance because I am insured. Like I said at the beginning of the call, I haven't looked into it and I don't know what is covered by my insurance, but Tea's Bakery is insured. And I don't know if I would be able to claim the money back from insurance. But like I said, I don't even have the money to give them. So it's just, I don't know where I'll get money from to give if all my clients come to me and say I should pay them back their deposit. I don't have their deposit to give. That's the reality and the truth of it. But I would offer an alternative cake, and I'll look at my insurance to see if that covers me.
Yes.
But like I said, relationship is key, because building a good relationship with my clients is what has helped me.
Okay, so yeah. Nigel from Favor Catering, he's on the call, and in the comments he just says, just refund. We have our reputations to protect. It's not worth dragging your name in the mud for 1K or so. There will be other clients watching your dealings with people. And also Emery says, how can we have spent the money already and the events haven't happened yet? Well, I'll just answer that one for you, Emery, in terms of our businesses have running costs, yeah? So regardless of in a physical event happening, every single month we have bills, we have electric. Even right now I'm in my house, I got this ring light right on here. I had to buy it. I'm having to pay to keep it on. Yeah, so we have running costs, we have bills. Some of us have storage costs. Some of us invest the money into stock and equipment to get ready to produce the event. Obviously, everyone runs their business differently, but me personally, when I take money, a portion of it is for me, and a portion of it is for the business and to produce every single event. Obviously, I'm not just charging exactly how much it costs me to produce the event. Otherwise, I wouldn't make any profit from it, and I wouldn't be able to live off of the money too.
Yeah, can I just say something in terms of how is it already spent? So remember, and I'll use Tea's Bakery as an example. Tea's Bakery pays Toyin a salary. I work for Tea's Bakery, even though I own it, and he pays me a monthly salary. In the last 3 months, Tea's Bakery has made 0. However, Tea's Bakery is still paying Toyin a salary until it doesn't have enough money to pay Toyin a salary. So the money that's been in Tea's Bakery account, say for all these other weddings or whatever, is what Tea's Bakery is then using to pay Toyin her salary until it goes bust, basically. So yes, and remember the clients have paid 50% deposit. They're still yet to pay the balance. And based on my plan, by now, about 7-8 clients should have paid their balances. So this is money that Tea's Bakery would have received. And, you know, getting new business, then he gets more money, etc. So saying that the money, how has the money finished? The money has basically finished because there's no income coming into the account, but then it still has expenses to pay.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I think the thing is, I know Emery is one of the people that does this full time, but there's different vendors in the industry. Some people are doing it part-time on the side, so they have still a full-time income to pay their bills. Some people do this full-time, and every single pound they get into the account from their clients is what they're using to maintain their lifestyle and feed their families, etc. So we have about 15 minutes left. We are taking questions from the audience. And to you, Elsie, I don't know if you want to contribute towards what that whole conversation there, or you can answer Alice's question, who says, how do you balance your business, full-time job, being a wife, and homeschooling during this season?
I run away. I go into hiding sometimes. To be honest, I do actually hide from my children and family sometimes. Try it, it works. Just go hide and take a breather. But honestly, it might sound cliche, but it's only by the grace of God that we go through 24 hours without killing each other in the house. Grace gives me strength. I totally rely on God's strength for every single thing. I'm not perfect, but somehow I've been able to, my mom was speaking to me, I told my mom that multitasking has become a norm for me. I can actually hold my baby, do a meal, do a homework, try to pray with someone all at once. But I rely on God's total strength. That's what keeps me. Honestly, Alice, it's the grace of God. I've never been to a gym in my life before because I have to chase 3 kids up the stairs and back, so I don't have to go to a gym. So it's the grace of God. There's no answer to that than the grace of God, because I don't have any formula to say you have to have yourself organized. I look at Afia's website and I'm like, wow, this is such an organized homeschool. And I just tell my kids to sit there. You have this to do today. When it's 2 o'clock, it's time for this. Let's keep going. And God sees us through. So there's no formula. Elsie has no formula. It's God's grace.
Thank you, Elsie. Thank you, Elsie. All right. So a lot of people in the comments are talking about this whole refund situation, and I guess what is ethical, what is correct, what is right to do. I want to go to Abass because what I feel like is going to happen now is we're going to have some kind of witch hunt. Yeah, we're going to have basically the businesses with faces are going to be held more accountable than the businesses without faces. So whatever money comes out your account every month by direct debit, whether it's, you know, SureGuard or Big Yellow self-storage or your gas bill, your electric bill, people are going to be more, I guess, forgiving of those kind of companies and just say, you know, well, they're going to give them their money. But for us who are your very small businesses, your individuals, people are going to try and hold us accountable for what's going on and say, listen, you know, you're not providing the service, you have to give us back our money. What would your advice be to your vendors out there that are dealing with this situation right now?
One thing you brilliantly alluded to there is first the type of businesses. Some businesses have a face to them and some don't. I've been interestingly been following on Twitter the Afro Nation event.
Yeah.
And Afro Nation was meant to have its Portugal event, I believe, in June or July. And those events practically take a year to organize. So they put out what, pay a deposit, and before a certain period, you know, you pay in full. Of course, COVID-19 kicks in. Nations started shutting down their countries for entry, and everybody started asking for refunds. However, it became very, very clear that in the contracts, which 99.999% do not read, there was a clause there. There was a pandemic clause. And some are like, how did they know a pandemic was going to happen? You see, the thing is, most companies don't just drop contracts immediately. Some of those clauses have been there from like 100 years. So you realize that after the 1918 pandemic, some lawyers added that to contracts.
Yes.
So it's not like they knew what's going to happen, but it's happened before. And now that presented a very, very unique situation. The Glastonburys of this world can absorb it. They just say, you know what, we'll do it next year. We'll hold your deposit until next year. The Afro nations of this world are not that buoyant, or they don't have that kind of history yet to do that. And everybody's like, we want our money first. Now, oftentimes, the thing is, what plan have you put in place to address it? Remember, a vast majority of people are asking for refunds from all types of businesses. So it's an exceptional situation where, so right now, two things, integrity and relationship. If I use myself as an example, I think I had about 9 or 10 advanced bookings, either to MC or to DJ. And touchwood, all of them are like, no, we'll postpone, we'll push it forward. Hence, I'm a huge fan of this Zoom thing, trust me, because with Zoom in the wings right now, I can easily shift that. Now, the person providing a technical service at the event may not be able to do that. And it might ultimately come down to having a real face, conversation with your client. I say, you know what, we didn't expect this. We don't have this money. I don't have it right now. In due course, I will make it happen. But I need to prove to you that I have an intention to pay you back. What would not work is to switch off or act like, hey, it's affecting everybody now, so it's not just me. No, it's not about that. What you cannot do is, because ultimately this will come and go, and you have a name to protect ultimately. You'll be surprised that nobody knows about the 100 gigs that go well. Is that one that you've refused to pay somebody and they decide to make, noise out of it? So a lot of wisdom has to come into these are exceptional times, and like somebody alluded to on the thread, it's not just going to be about contracts only now, really, because even in law, if the courts decide to start taking cases of refunds issues, they wouldn't be able to finish it for the next 20 years. Do you get it? So ultimately, it comes down to relationships. How are you dealing with these people? For someone like me now, I get a lot of repeat clients. So most of these people I've been working with for so many years. So it's like, hey, how much have we paid in advance? No problem. Right now, it's not a big, it's not a major. And I also would not act like nothing is happening. I have to every now and say, every now and I have to keep in touch with them, let them realize, you know what, I've not forgotten. We're also now this is going to pan out, and how we're going to deal with this. So a lot of wisdom, relationship, but we must not forget the integrity we have to keep. That is absolutely key.
Okay, thank you so much.
Something.
Go for it.
I just had a light bulb moment. Still with regards to this whole refunding thing, and I read in the comments, I think it was Big Aya that said that airlines would not give you back money, but they would give you a voucher, which is so true, because my Dubai trip, I got a voucher. So I booked it with lastminute.com. And I was meant to fly with Emirates. I didn't get an Emirates voucher, or I didn't get my money back, but I got a lastminute.com voucher, which means I can use it on anything. Now, that is a way, I mean, even though I read law and everything, I wouldn't call myself a lawyer because I'm crap. But it's something that as wedding industry, as wedding people, whatever you want to call it, we can refund that way. So I could say, okay, fine, I'll give you a Tees Bakery voucher worth £500, for example, and you can use that for any Tees Bakery cake. But what the light bulb moment is, and obviously I need to think about this properly, and if there are lawyers in the house, we can think about it, and it could be something that we can do to help ourselves and protect one another. We can have, for example, an EVN, just like how you have lastminute.com that provides, if you get a lastminute.com voucher, you can now use it either on a flight alone, you could use it on hotel alone, or you can use it on a combination of the two. Now, if a group of vendors who have been affected, who need to give refund, come together, and we have an EVN voucher. So rather than refunding money to the clients, we refund an EVN voucher so they can use for a future event. So say cake, say, I don't know if you get where I'm coming from. Say cake, say DJ service. So that way we're all protecting ourselves, but we're all protecting ourselves. So we don't have to give out money to these clients, but they can get I'm just thinking out loud, an EVN voucher, for example, which could then be, or a Love Weddings voucher, or, or something, okay. I don't know. Which
takes away the personal kind of back and forth between you and the client, and gives the client an organization to speak to, which is a great idea. I think Love Weddings, you said it can only work if the vendors also donate the money, but no, we're not. So the only vendors that would be part of the scheme are those who have to refund. So so rather than refunding in a cake, I can refund a wedding planning service, for example, and then whatever the amount is subtracted from, I don't know, I have to think about it, but... Listen, this is a big, this alone is like a half an hour to an hour session in itself, what you're saying, because we have to really formalize how this would happen. Well, we are actually coming to the end of this now, but luckily we are back next week, and on next week's call, we actually do have DJ Emery, who's very active on the threads here. We have Tonbra from Anaya Grace, we have Bola from Memories for You, and we have Nigel from Favor Catering. So I'm very sure this is a conversation that is going to continue next week. But just before we round up, can we get Laura or Joseph, we're just going to come on and read something that we were posted in the leadership team group. Laura, are you still available to do that? And then it will be a quick 2-minute roundup from each speaker, and we're going to go over time obviously slightly, but this has been a really great session. Laura, are you still there? Are you there? Or Joseph? Okay, Laura, we can't hear you. You're muted.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, yes.
All right, let me just read out what's been flagged to us. It's from the government.uk website. Okay, so for most consumer contracts, the CMA would expect a full refund to be issued where, 1, a business has cancelled a contract without providing any of the promised goods or services. 2, No service is provided by a business, for example, because this is prevented by the restrictions that apply during the current lockdown. And finally, a consumer cancels or is prevented from receiving the service, for example, due to restrictions that apply during the current lockdown. It also advises that businesses should not be profiting by double recovering their money from the government and customers. And that's it.
Yeah. So basically, that is kind of encouraging us to give people discounts. But again, we're going to have to continue this next week. But Laura, please put the link to that into the chat, please. Joseph, please post the contact details of every speaker into the chat. And can we just get the final words from Adot first of all, and then Toyin, and then Abass, then Elsie.
Okay, so this has been a very informative, educational conversation, because we are all learning different things from this conversation. But what I would say is, yes, this time will surely pass, 100%. There's never ever been a time where something like this has gone on forever. No, there's a time for everything. So surely this time will pass. But what I want us all to remember in this time is how you talk to your clients, how you communicate with people. Because after all of this has gone, people will remember how you treated them now.
Yes.
People will never forget that. I know we have been touching the subject of refund and no refund and refund, and you are going back and forth. But remember one thing, there is no amount of money that you can use to buy a good reputation. It's not for sale. It's not for sale. You have to work to earn it. And as you've taken time, you have to remember, taking time to build your brand, your name, takes so long. And guess what? For it to collapse is very, very quick. So all I am saying is we need to put ourselves in the shoes of our clients. Remember, we are all human beings. Let us use our wisdom, our discretion in order to make the right decisions. Whatever this information means to you, it means to you. It means different things to different people. So that is what I want us all to remember. So remember, whatever you do now, after all of this has been buried and everybody is back to going to parties, going to weddings, going to cinema house, everybody is going to remember those who looked after them in this time, those who gave them good advice, those that were very easy to work with. A word of mouth goes a long way. So that's what I want us to remember.
Thank you, Mr. Adot. Those were great words. We're getting some round of applauses in the comments. It looks like you might have to add motivational speaker to your repertoire during this time.
He's a pastor already.
That's another way to pivot right there. Okay, so actually, let's get Abass and then Toyin and then Elsie, please.
Okay, awesome. One of your questions was, how long will this take? And Elsie was very, very, optimistic and saying that hopefully soon. This is not going to be soon. For things to get, if I was to ask Elsie, if I was to say, look, can I come and have lunch with you this afternoon? Can you answer that question, Elsie? If I wanted to come and have lunch in your house this afternoon.
From a safe distance, yes, actually.
Now, exactly. And the operational word there is safe distance, right? People, there is a psychological dimension to this thing. The only thing the whole world is waiting on right now that's going to end this is a vaccine. In the absence of a vaccine, then this has to be managed. I don't want to mortgage my life on how Mr. B or Mr. C decides to manage this. I can only speak for myself. So, in the absence of a vaccine, even if government relaxes the rules of engagement and of movement, the fact is there's a human element to this that will be very, very difficult for many to switch back on. This could go on easily for another year. Certain sectors will start to survive, some will struggle. Historically, the hospitality sector struggles the most. And really, a lot of what we do is anchored on close proximity activity. So we must not forget that. So there's nothing wrong in projecting in your mind, okay, I have 1 year. Let's look at 1 year. What can I do? How can I plan for a year? What can I do within the next 1 year? Because even relaxing those laws, trust me, I was telling somebody, a lot of countries after now, once the vaccines start to come out, it would become law in some countries. Before you can come to my country, you must show proof that you've had COVID vaccine. Some people will struggle to deal with that because there's actually a section of people. Charles Emeka and I have been having very robust, conversations along this, So people have it. This to get over the psychological block of this could take another year, and that's at the minimum. So let's prepare ourselves for the long haul.
Yes.
Especially for those of us in the sector.
Exactly. Thank you so much for those words. Charles Emeka is someone that came to mind because he is he's on the team of hell no to the vaccine. Team hell no vaccine. So that means that there are going to be implications to that. And again, that's another conversation that we can't get into right now because time is going. But please, Toyin and Elsie, what are your final words for this call?
I'm thinking really hard what to say without sounding too spiritual.
You can be spiritual if you like. You can be spiritual if you like. That's fine. Go for it.
So we're really in all of this together. And Pastor Toyin, sorry, I need to stop looking at the comments. We're really in all of this together, and everyone's saying now's the time to do the things that you haven't been able to do. There's some truth to that, but I think a very important thing is self-care, because I know of people who have died from the virus, so this stuff is real. I know people who have had the virus, are very ill, they've lost loved ones, they've survived, etc. People are dying, and it's come home because I know people who have died from the virus. So it's very real. And this whole thing has just made me realize how much self-care is important. So I know everyone's trying to do very well with their businesses, take their businesses to one level or the other, but you also need to think about yourself. Perhaps this is a time for you to actually just chill and relax, because some of us have been working really hard. Like me, for example, I've been working really hard, and as much as I still have my hands full, I've had to park something, and unfortunately I've parked cakes. Right, and it's probably not a positive thing for me to come out here and say I'm not taking any cake orders for now, but it is what it is. I've not stopped doing cakes. I will continue doing cakes. I've been having sessions on my live Instagram, on Instagram. I'm also speaking to clients. I'm taking orders for weddings next year, etc. But at this moment, I am not in the kitchen baking, and I don't plan to do that because right now I'm focusing on my husband, for example. I'm his helpmeet. I'm trying to help him grow. God has given me the gift to help other people to grow. And I'm starting at home, because one thing I've just realized now is that I've been trying to help people outside of my home to grow their brand, to grow their businesses. But I have a very hardworking husband who he has his own business, he has his own brand to grow. And I just realized, why am I not helping him? I'm his helpmeet. So I'm starting from home. This whole thing has given me the knowledge or the wisdom to help my husband to grow, to help my children. I've spent more time. Homeschooling has opened my eyes to a lot of things. I've just caught in homeschooling things about my son that I never knew. I mean, my son goes to a private school. And as far as I'm concerned, because I'm paying school fees, I was sure that the level of education he's getting is perfect. But homeschooling him, I'm thinking, you cannot spell. What am I paying school fees for? And a lot of things are coming to light. And I've sent his handwriting, for example. And I sent the teacher an email. I'm thinking, why is his writing? Is this how his writing has been? His writing was way better in year 2. Why is he writing like this? And she goes, well, as long as he gets the work done, that's what I'm satisfied. And I said, no, that's not good enough. No. I'm paying for a service here. And a lot of things has come to light. So right now I'm like, nah, man, I can't focus on cakes right now. I need to help. And it's opened a lot of things. I'm spending time with my kids. I've got a baby. So perhaps that's what you need to do too, you know? And yeah,
Thank you, Pastor Toyin and Mommy Toyin. That's what people are saying in the comments.
Nigerian mom,
yes. A lot of people
the other
like.
day, the school
No,
said.
hold on. We got to stop.
Okay, sorry.
But a lot of people like the fact that you complain to your son's teacher. I think because we're getting a few comments about that. All right, but we must wrap up. We don't want this to go on all afternoon. So, Elsie, please, the final words. Please take the stage and let us know what your parting message is, please.
Like everyone should stay positive. Honestly, the Bible says that all things work together for your good. In this lockdown, it matters what you say about your business, about yourself, about your family. I'm a firm believer of speaking the right things all the time. So you can keep saying the right things about your business. Keep growing your business with your mouth. So stay positive. All things will work together for our good. COVID-19 is for my good. That's how I say it. So stay positive, everyone.
Thank you so much, Elsie. Getting some comments saying thank you, preach it, Elsie, etc. And same for Toyin. And listen, for Adot and for Abass and for all of you, I just want to say thank you so much for taking your time out this afternoon. And just because we're in lockdown doesn't mean that you're not busy and you haven't got things to do. So thank you for coming onto the call. I know you all got families, you got children, you got things that needs to happen still during this lockdown. So, you know, we got literally thousands of dollars or pounds on this call, on this panel right now per minute. And you guys have given us your time. So we really appreciate it. Thanks to the audience that has come on this week. We will be back again next week, same time at 2 p.m. I'm seeing a few people switching on their cameras and smiling at us now, which is nice too. Nice to see your faces. And thanks again. So please check the EVN, follow us at Elite Vendors Network to get more details about who's going to be on the panel next week. But as I said, it's going to be Emery. He's acting like he doesn't know, but he is going to be on our panel. Plus Nigel, plus from Favor Catering, plus Bola from Memories for You, and Tonbra from Anaya Grace. So we're going to end it here, everyone. This will be on, this session was recorded and it will be on the Elite Vendors Network YouTube channel soon as well. And I really enjoyed today and you guys were amazing guests, just like I thought. So thank you. Enjoy the rest of your Saturdays and we'll speak again soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Praise the Lord.